Guys, thank you so much for being here. We have head coach Stan DeCosti, senior offensive lineman Bartle Gashi, and senior linebacker Christian Sweeney joining us today. So, Coach, we're going to open it up to you for an opening statement.
Yeah, thanks, Ryan. Obviously, exciting time of year. As summer comes down to a close as coaches, you get that kind of feeling in your stomach probably after the 4th of July, where summer's over. But heading into fall camp every year, I mean, it's exciting. Our guys started back up here early June. We have a ton of guys on campus all summer, which is huge. So it's been great to see them work out and develop over the summer. As a staff standpoint, getting back in the office this week and start fine tuning stuff heading into preseason camp is always it's just exciting. This year going forward, we got a great group of guys. We have about 7 fifth-year seniors. We have 30 freshmen coming in. So it's a unique roster from that standpoint. It's the most fifth years we've ever had by far. So we're excited about to have that experience and leadership. And we've had a decent amount of guys that have played a lot of football for us over the last couple of years, and I think we got some good young talent that's going to have an impact as well. Our program, the growth over the last few years, and I know these guys could attest to it. We've been through a lot. The guys have battled through a lot, and we're excited. Obviously, last year we ended on a good stretch there. Last half of the season, and doesn't guarantee anything for this year, but it just shows what the guys are working for, what they believe in, and what our core values are that we put all together that it could work. So I think we got over the biggest hump last year of tying wins together. We also know how fragile that is and how hard it is to be consistently good at this level. And I think our league's in a great place. Our league's as strong as it's ever been, I believe, which is exciting. So we know when we get into league play, every week's going to be a big test. Every week's a championship game from that standpoint. But we got a schedule before that. We always have tough schedules coming in for us every year. So our guys get amped up for that stuff. But I'm just really excited. Getting into this season. A great group of guys, and our coaching staff is excited as well and ready to roll.
Okay. Thank you very much, Coach. We'll open it up first for questions from our student athletes, or for our student athletes, I should say. And Maria from the Patriot League will go to you first.
Perfect. This will be for both of you guys. Coach just mentioned how you guys finished so strong, winning those last 3 games. How do you continue that momentum coming into camp in this entire season?
I'll start it off. I guess for us, is trusting our culture, trusting what we built here, trusting the winning mentality that we all have, and that what we've been preaching to our young guys throughout this summer. Having basically all of them up has been huge. Teaching them the ways of how we do stuff here at Colgate and how we're going to get things done.
Yeah, and going off that point, we've had 80 guys up here this summer, the most we've had in a long time. It's just cultivating that culture and implementing those values that we've carried and developed through Stan DeCosti being the head coach. And it's just taking those young guys under our wing, showing up each and every day, putting in the work. And at the end of the day, it's Colgate football, and we're going to do things the hard way. And there's no way to winning a Patriot League championship without putting in the work to our standard. So.
Oh, and for the student athletes, you guys talk about certainly setting that standard. You were one of the 4 teams towards the end of the season that would have had a shot at claiming a piece of a Patriot League title. Being in the process that you were, how much confidence did that give you guys over the offseason just to keep pushing?
I would think it was more motivation as a team, seeing how close we were to achieve what we wanted. So I feel like a lot of our guys use that as motivation to push through this offseason. Some of these workouts are grueling, but we know what we're working for, and we know what we want to achieve as a team.
Yeah, and I think going off of Bartle's point, at the end of the day, the standard doesn't change for us. We're going to show up each and every week. We know our goal, and we know where we have to be to get there, and it's not necessarily easy. So putting in the work, being around your guys, and cultivating that winning culture is what's most important, especially heading into with a great summer into fall camp.
Hey guys, this is also for the student athletes. I'm sorry about that. It may seem like a similar thing, but it's a little different. It's like, was it significant to you guys that you guys got to a winning record before the end of the year, like just to kind of be the springboard into next year? Was that like something you guys was that at all a point of emphasis?
Yeah,
I mean,
think
yeah, go ahead, Sven.
Yeah, I think definitely so. Just coming in with, the very discombobulated COVID season, just throwing things off, and then coming in sophomore year, Coach Takassi's first year, and him, implementing fantastic values to our culture and taking Colgate football each and every year to the next level. I think hitting that 6-1 mark was definitely, one of the steps or one of our milestones that we definitely did achieve. But kind of like we said, the end goal is, still out in front of us. And, just riding off of that momentum from last year into this year is definitely a plus for us hitting that goal.
Yeah, just to build off of that, that's something Coach Akasi spoke on going in our winter workouts, that winning record, although as a stepping stone, is not where we want to be as a team, and to use the stepping stone and to make sure we keep taking steps forward and not getting lackadaisical and taking a step back.
Okay, thanks, guys. I also just wanted to ask the same question I asked the other folks, which was you guys you guys have been around Colgate, you know what it's about, academically. I wanted to talk to you about like how you manage your both you guys, how you manage your academic and athletic balance in your lives at Colgate.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for us is, with a small, intimate classroom setting, you get to know your professors well, and, they're going to look after you if you put in the work and show that, hey, you know what, I do care, I'm interested in the subject, I want to learn more. And just having that eagerness and also discipline to, after long practice, at the end of the day, you still have to, do your work and not let that pile up. And on top of that, we have a great amount of resources here at Colgate, specifically in the athletics department, that do make sure we're hitting those milestones to show that, hey, we are excelling, even though we do, have a full-time job of being a student athlete. So it's, a combination of yourself holding yourself accountable and presenting yourself as, like a vital asset in the classroom to professors, and pairing that with, the resources we have here at Colgate. It's definitely, the formula for success in the long run.
Yeah, I think that's huge. Another big thing I like to preach to our young guys is time management. Being able to take that like 2-hour dead period that you could have in your day and use that as time to either study or get some readings in, or maybe go to office hours, talk to a professor, could be huge. And those little 2-hour blocks or half-hour block really add up at the end of the day and at the end of the semester. So using your time wisely.
Excellent. Do we have any more questions for our student athletes? Okay, guys, thank you so much for being here today. And we will open it up now for questions for Coach Takasti. Okay,
So, Coach,
Maria. Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead, Chuck.
I'm sorry about that. I didn't mean to interrupt. Coach Tukowski, so it's like, it's nice to to kind of work. I was just talking to Coach Justini, and he's saying how it's like, things have been kind of working through, and it's been a evolving landscape. It seems like, it feels like kind of like now we're finally working through the COVID years. And does it feel like there's like kind of a return to normalcy now? Like how it's kind of how it's always been. You've been at Colgate for quite a while. It's like, does it feel like a little bit more back? We're back.
Yeah, no, I think it does. I think this past year's graduation weekend was, I've been here for half my life basically, and I wouldn't be at this place if I didn't believe in everything that it stands for. And a lot of what it is the relationships you build here. And I'm around graduation weekend a lot. And this past year was the first one in a few years where like you see the students, the emotions of them leaving campus because of how impactful their time here has been to them. And that COVID year kind of threw a gap in that for some classes. And this past year, I'm sure the previous class was the same. I just kind of took note of that this year, of that they got that full Colgate experience for the majority of their life here, time on campus. So I think that was pretty, that was great to see. And football wise, yeah, I mean, the fifth years situation obviously has been different for us this year with that COVID year coming back. But I think, I tell people is like there's a lot of chaos in college football that's around us, but we're not immune to like chaos, like the portals or the NIL stuff. Like, but it doesn't have a big impact on our program, and I think we we've carved out what's pure about college football in a lot of ways, and our league does as well. Like we recruit, we retain, we develop, and we graduate. And I think when you're bringing new families into programs and recruiting, I think that's something that people are really attracted to now with a lot of the chaos in college. And but for the Patriot League and especially here, I feel it's is it back to the way it was before? Maybe not, but I think we're in a great place. It's different, but I think it's a good place to be.
Have Maria Travel Piece from the Patriot League.
Hey, Coach, how are you?
Henry, how you doing?
Good. So you and your players just mentioned so many guys being able to be on campus this summer. What makes that possible, and how do you think that's going to help you in the upcoming season?
Yeah, I think, obviously a strong culture and leadership, emphasis of how important it is to be here over the summer. We're located in a pretty unique area, so there's not a plethora of maybe industry and jobs floating around for the guys. So, basically we have a ton of guys up here. We don't have summer classes either, but being able to house them and help with meal plans and stipends and stuff like that through the support of our alumni is like incredible. Like our company line as a program is like, if you have that national internship, that's the game changer. Because we do so much professional development stuff. Like when the guys were talking about their student athlete balance, like the one thing we ask a lot of our guys too is the professional development end of things. So when that leads into the national internships or global internships, then we fully support that 100%. But if not, then the guys are here. And we have 31 freshmen coming in. All 31 have been here this summer. So that part of just acclimatization, or whatever you want to call it, like that part's huge for them and is for the culture as a whole. But Hamilton's a beautiful place to be over the summer. I've seen Bartle and Christian swing a golf club, and fairly solid there. I know they enjoy Seven Oaks, after the workouts, but no, I think it's just when we get the guys in the dorm and we get them together and just developing just by that proximity to each other, develops a strong culture and brotherhood on the team. And I think, over the years, we've been building this up to where this year has been the most we've ever had. And I think it's just what we do now. And it's going to be a big part of our program moving forward.
Thank you.
Welcome.
And Coach DeCoste, I wanted to just ask you quickly about what you saw in terms of the development of your program from the beginning of last season to the end, and how much confidence that gives you coming into training camp in 2024.
I think honestly, it was the end of the 22 season to now, and we had a tough stretch at the end of 2022, and we drew a strong, hard line of accountability and culture and all in, and we had a tough stretch early in 2023. And I think if we didn't have as strong as culture as we had, or leadership as we have, I don't think we would have won 6 out of our last 7. And I think so that development is something that definitely proud of. Credit to the guys that are coming back this year, and we have fifth years. We also have a really good senior class, and and I can go through class by class and pinpoint good leaders and guys are going to have strong impacts in the locker room and be great teammates and stuff like that. So I think it takes a special person to come to Colgate. And I feel like we got a locker room full of them. I feel with expectations and even when you take over a program like this, I walk past 10 trophies every day when I walk into my office. So, we understand what the standard is here, what the expectations are here. That's never changed. But even to go back to it, the question you guys asked about the 6-5 record, like we adjusted some things last year as we were going through of like, listen, let's get the 500, let's get the winning record, like stuff that, in certain years here at Colgate would seem to be just, a given. Like when you're fighting to get back to where you want to be as a program, those steps along the way are something that, be proud of that stuff. So we definitely, that was there. And then I think like last year's class and the guys coming back 5th years, like it was a great class of guys that showcased that the buy-in was there. And I honestly I thank them a lot over that course of time, because they were buying into something that hasn't actually happened yet, right? Like we're coming off a tough 2022 stretch. So, but that buy-in and the belief of, it's there. We always believed it was in here, but actually having it show up on Saturdays last year was obviously a great thing. And then now it's a matter of, like Bartle and Christian said, is taking the next step. And obviously it's very easy to go backwards. It's very hard to go forward. So I think they have the right mentality of understanding that nothing's going to be handed to us, and they'll be humble and hungry. And but there's a I think every coach in this call will want to have a player-led team, and I have belief that we can get there. I think we're in a great place there, and so fortunate from that standpoint. But yeah, the development has been a lot of the off the field stuff, and in the sense of just building up the culture as strong as we can. Always had great kids, just got to get the right minded guys from guys that love football and guys that will hold themselves and each other accountable, and then build from there.
Okay.
Excellent. Thank you.
So you got your yellow water bottle? Okay.
Oh, uh-oh. And Coach, I did want to also just pay you and your program a compliment. We had Andrew Khalif from your program intern with the Patriot League over the summer, and he had done an excellent job for us. Let me just yeah.
I was talking about that the other day. I was asking if he hung out with you guys at all. We had a series of pool parties at my house of seniors and freshmen and everyone in between. AK was at the last one, and he's glad you guys got to know him. It's a great dude.
Excellent.
Best voice. He's got a voice for this stuff. He's
yeah.
He's
well, Coach, thank you so much, and thank you to Bartle and Christian for joining us today. We'll let you guys go. We'll get Fordham spotlighted, who's next up, and start with Fordham here in just a second.